Hello, in this video we're going to discuss liens on a property, how they're filed, and what they mean in terms of an encumbrance. If you see a lien on a property, it's something that started with a financial obligation to a person. It's something that a person owed money. It may have been a tax debt, it may have been a judgment, it may have been a court case, it may have been child support. Sometimes even credit card debts can end up as a lien. Some of the most common liens come from property taxes or IRS income taxes that aren't paid. Either way, it's a debt to a person and it transfers from that person to a property. It starts with a piece of paper of that debt. It may be a judgment from a small claims court. It may be a judgment from American Express that the person didn't pay their credit card bill, and then that judgment becomes a lien one of two ways: either by direct recording in the land records. The creditor may have to take that piece of paper and carry it to their county recorder and have it recorded as a lien. In some cases, a judgment against a person may automatically become a lien by statute. And in that case, you got to make sure that a lien is searched in the appropriate venue. For example, if a small claims court judgment against a person automatically attaches to their property without any other activity, then you got to make sure that your title search is going to search that small claims court record. Because if the land records are the only thing that's searched, then other records outside of that will not show up on a title search and will not be something that the potential purchaser knows about. So a title search will discover a lien if those records are searched. If it's recorded by direct recording in the land records, that existing debt instrument now becomes a new lien. It's something that attaches to the title. It'll show up on a title search. It'll be a lien recording that'll have a separate book and page from the deed. From any other mortgage, it'll be a separate piece of paper in a separate book on a different day. There may be provisions on a lien or judgment for penalties and interest. So you want to make sure that if the amount listed on that judgment is $10,000, you want to rely on the fact that the lien may be more than that if there's interest or penalties which can accrue if the lien is not paid by a certain date. On the other hand, there may be a right of redemption. For example, if a debtor has the right to pay off that lien and get it off the title, there may be a way for them to do that even after that lien is foreclosed, which brings up another subject. Any lien in theory can be foreclosed unless there's something which prevents it. For example, a third lien or fourth lien on a property, you can foreclose it, but that lien holder would have to buy out all the liens in front of it to take title to that property. So in most cases, only the first lien, such as a mortgage, is typically recorded, although a tax delinquency for property taxes is sometimes foreclosed because that may have priority over the mortgage instrument. In some cases, a state may have a statute which prevents foreclosure of a primary residence under the Homestead laws of that state. For example, O.J. Simpson moved to Florida because he knew that any equity he had in a primary residence would not be susceptible to creditors because he lives in a homestead state. A homestead property is protected from creditors other than a first mortgage. Any other types of liens can't be used to take that property away. It doesn't make the lien disappear from the property, but it does make that property insulated from creditors taking it just for a lien. Think about this. Most liens, as we've talked about so far, are involuntary, meaning that they get slapped on a property because of a creditor wanting to secure their debt against the homeowner. What about a voluntary lien? Why would somebody voluntarily put a lien on their property? Well, a mortgage technically is a lien. It's a form of encumbrance or clout on title. That is done voluntarily by the homeowner in order to get the lender to give them money to buy the property or to fund a home equity loan or to cash out a refinance. So there are liens that can be voluntary if they're of value to the homeowner. And in the case of a second or third mortgage, you may also find that there's an issue of subordination. If the first mortgage company that has a mortgage on a property is approached by the homeowner because they want to get a second mortgage or refinance a home line of credit, if that line of credit was refinanced on a later date, in theory, the newer instrument would jump down to older priority. So if you're going to refinance that second line of credit, you may want to get the first mortgage company to subordinate their interest so they still remain in first position even if the loan is higher. So liens are filed in the county. They're indexed by name. They're not indexed by property, and they usually start with some type of financial debt or obligation and then become a lien against that asset, which is real estate. For more information, you can click on the link below. It goes to titlesearch.com, and if you know somebody else who would benefit from the information in this video, click the share link and you can send it off to them.